So Pharrell Williams says it's all about rights as he's honored at Grammys
Oh,
on the
it's just all
Hill.
about rights, and we need more of those. Tonight's rights are about the creators, but we got to think about LGBTQIA. We got to think about women's rights. So anytime that the government actually leans in with a fair lens to look at a marginalized community, a community that is often taken for granted. I mean, you name it, we have an array of it in this country, a myriad of groups that get discriminated against, and oftentimes they lose their rights. Anytime the government will lean in the way that they're leaning in tonight, it's a beautiful thing. We need more of that. I want them to lean into women's rights the way that they're leaning into the rights of the creators.
But also, we believe that music is a potent diplomatic tool. Soft power is more important than hard power. So we're here to celebrate that music can be a catalyst for social change. Music can be an education tool. I learned English listening to songs. So music is a lot more than just a form of entertainment. That's why we're here.
No idea who that guy was. So I just want to point out here,
The
as we bring
Balenciaga
this,
sweater there.
of course, but you look at these artists, and basically, so this is an event. Behind Pharrell is City National Bank and RBC companies. So you got the banks, you've got the Hollywood Academy, or the Grammy version of that. And they're basically saying they're the government supporting artists because this is titled, this video from Reuters, of course, as Chuck Schumer and Pharrell Williams came out in support of the Grammys on the Hill, whatever that is. So the Democrats are giving them money, which of course everybody always means by support is give money. And in exchange, Pharrell will come out and say complete nonsense. I mean, what did he say, Eric? The LGBTQI rights and women's rights and the rights of artists, or artists are such a marginalized group. So you give us money, we give you talking points. Am I understanding this correctly, do you think?
Look, I don't know what this is supposed to mean, bro. Pharrell and that other unknown guy, some empty suit. It was complete word salad. It wasn't as bad as Kamala Harris, but Pharrell standing there. Oh, we need to lean in. We need to lean into the rights, the marginalized groups. It's all just buzzwords. It's complete nonsense, and this is very disappointing, bro. Because I think we can all remember a time before politics took over everything, right? You had kids, in eighth grade, seventh grade, or whatever, pounding on the table, pretending to do the grinding beat, right? The Clips, Pusha T, these are all very, very well respected non-political entities. And now you have Chuck Schumer and Pharrell. Clearly he got the talking points. And one of the talking points is make sure that whatever you say doesn't make any sense. Just give them word salad and we're gonna pretend that it's smart stuff. And it's sad, bro, because look, bro, Pharrell has been a super producer, as they say, in more than just hip hop, right? He produced Justin Timberlake and Britney Spears and all sorts of stuff, I believe. So why does he need to do this? That's my question. It's very similar to what we see with Bud Light and Nike and all this stuff, because he knows that money isn't really the bottom line. So when those companies are out and they're slapping half of their customers in the face, they realize that it's more beneficial for them to be in line with the agenda than to work on your craft and continue to make money that legit way. It's pretty despicable, really.
Here's the explanation for it. It's from Billboard. We'll blow that up a little bit, and it's going to be as bad as you think, as you can probably imagine. Grammys
Oh,
on the
so this
Hill.
is oh, okay. So that video was from Reuters, but this is a different article explaining it.
This is a
via
Billboard
Billboard.
article
Okay.
explaining what it is. Grammys on the Hill is a celebration like no other, spotlighting music's unifying powers. We bring together our nation's leaders with some of the most renowned artists in the world.
Okay,
So
wait.
a
I'm
party.
sorry. Hang on. Music's unifying powers. Meanwhile, they're the same people that are kicking rappers like Bryson off of Spotify.
Correct. This
Okay.
year's edition will also honor Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer and Senator Bill Cassidy, a Republican from Louisiana. The event sponsored by City National Bank and benefits the Grammy Museum. So a bank is putting on a party for two politicians to give money to the Music Academy's museum. And it says it's a privilege to honor Pharrell alongside Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer and Senator Cassidy, all of whom have fought tirelessly for a pro-music policy that protects the creatives that make up our community. Anytime, Eric, you've got a celebrity-backed thing celebrating a politician, you know something's wrong. I don't care who it is. If you've got Nickelodeon celebrating Mitt Romney, there's a problem there, a huge problem. Even if it was Trump, and by problem I mean they're giving them money. I mean, if the National Basketball Association honors Donald Trump by throwing him a party when he's not the president, I can understand they want to touch elbows when somebody's the president. We're throwing a president's ball or something. That's for all of them to come together. That makes it more clear what's going on there. But when Billboard, when the Grammys have a party honoring Chuck Schumer and this guy I haven't heard of, this Republican from Louisiana, what's actually going on there? It's sponsored by a bank, and Pharrell wants you to believe that it's, this is for people's rights. We're celebrating two politicians. Like, it's their job to support people, is it not? So now we have to throw a party for politicians when they do something right, allegedly. There's a picture of Pharrell. He's featured. He's one of the podcast members right now. Let's see if there's anything else.
What
Important
rights
that we show up and support each other.
I'm sorry. If we were to follow up, if there were any semblance of real journalism in the building, and one person would just follow up with like, which rights are you discussing, Pharrell? There would be crickets.
Championed key policies in support of music makers, including co-sponsoring the Save Our Stages Act, which is included in the bipartisan COVID relief. Okay, so they get that confirms it. I'm a damn oracle. Don't tell me how I know this. It's just the words they use, people. When they use words like support, when it sounds too good to be true, it is. So basically, they gave the money in the COVID relief package. Excuse me. And they're thanking them for them now. This bank, somebody convinced somebody at the bank to make themselves look good. It's also sad and predictable. And I just wish, like you said, Eric, that somebody would just be like, Mr. Williams, what rights are you referring to? Mr. Williams, how much money did the COVID relief package give, or whoever the representative is? In this case, it would be for this Grammys on the Hill thing. How much money did you guys get for this, and what did it go to? Those are real questions, but no, there's some marginalized people. Art, like, in their mind, they wouldn't even, in their own viewpoint. Are you saying that artists are just as marginalized as, LGBT plus minus cosine? What are they called?
Tangent, cosine, I don't know.
Yeah, cosine, tan.
I'm too old to remember any of that stuff.
Would they say in their own viewpoint, Eric, that rappers like Pharrell, who's filthy rich, are as marginalized as alphabet people, or even women? When are we talking about? Are we talking about women's rights again? Because we know what they mean when they say women's rights. When I say women's rights, I actually mean like their rights, like their God-given or natural rights, however you want to pursue that. They're talking about abortion and abortion only, and abortion pills. Those are the only things they're talking about, because there's no other rights that they don't get. Maybe they might be talking about the wage gap, but that gets debunked every 3 months. So we know what they're talking about, but they can't even say that. They can't even say, and like, to your credit, Eric, their own comments always conflict one another. And in this case, that's painfully obvious when he says, artists' rights versus LGBTQIA rights. I don't know what I stands for. Indigenous. Intersex.
Actually, it could be.
What's A stand for? Asexual?
I believe it does, actually. Yeah.
I love the thing people are pointing out now, that how can there be non-binary when there's a bisexual category? That doesn't make any sense. You're only the bisexuals are actually just choosing between the any two given. Let's move on. Pharrell makes me angry.
Turn it up, Jordan.